something to do with travel. Yeah, I don't know. Hey besties, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Ryan. Hi, it's very nice to meet you. I hope you stick around. Today we are gonna be doing the long overdue, I guess, book update because I fell off YouTube, reading, everything, and I haven't posted like a TBR or wrap up since March, end of March, going into April. I don't know 100%. What I do know is that it's coming up on the end of June now. And honestly, you haven't missed much. I haven't read much since the last video. But I'm hoping that that will change, and I think a good way to hold myself accountable is to film another one of these videos. And I don't even know what I'm gonna call this exactly, but talk about what I haven't read, what I need to read still, briefly what I have read, which is not a lot since last time we talked about books. So anyway, the big part of this video's focus is going to be talking about the Buzzword Readathon Challenge and what I need to catch up on, because there's a lot, especially because there's 2 challenges. And yeah, it doesn't feel unattainable, but it is a lot, so we just need to talk about it, you know? Anyways, I'm just gonna start by briefly telling you the books that I read since the last time we talked. I didn't really check to see if I've already said this or not, so if it's a repeat, I'm so sorry. But I think the last book we left off on was I had just finished Sunrise on the Reaping, and I think I was telling you what I was gonna read in April. If I'm wrong, I'm so sorry. Since then, I've read 5 books. Yeah. Anyway, so since then, I did end up reading The 7-Year Slip, which was for book club, and I rated that 5 stars. I loved it. I really loved it. I recommend, by Ashley Poston. You should read it. Next, I read Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. I did read that, in fact, and took me longer than I probably needed to, but I rated that 3 stars. I said that in my review, I said it was better than I remembered, but I feel like a lot of the parts were unnecessary, and I know that like that was realistic to the time, but I don't think it was good then either. So anyway, next, I read None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. This was also for book club, I think. Yeah, this was for book club. I didn't leave a review, but I rated it 5 stars. It was a thriller. I really enjoyed it. I barely finished it the night before book club, but that doesn't matter. Next, this one's very excited. This one's very exciting because this is probably, I'm gonna go out on record saying it for real this time. This is my favorite author. I always say like, oh, I think it is. No, I'm committing. She's my favorite author. It's Geneva Rose. She recently came out with The Perfect Divorce, which was the sequel to The Perfect Marriage. If you haven't read either of those, I really recommend them. I recommend every single book by her. I have yet to read a book by her that I didn't enjoy. I'm gonna say it. And I've read most of them. I listen to them as audiobooks, I think exclusively, just because the character voices are so good when it comes to like a thriller. I love listening to an audiobook of a thriller, but it was so good. And I don't even know, was it better than The Perfect Marriage? I don't know. They're both up there. They're both really good. So yeah, I read The Perfect Divorce, gave it 5 stars, obviously. My girl Geneva Rose, I love you. Thank you for coming out with another masterpiece. But yeah, I do listen to her books exclusively on audiobook, and I've listened to every single book of hers that has an audiobook available on Goodreads. No, on Libby. So yeah, there's a few that I haven't read, basically because at this point I'm like, I might as well stick with the audiobooks, but if they never come out on audiobook, then I guess I'll make an exception. Last but not least, I just recently finished this one for book club as well, and that was The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez. Now, this was my first book that I've ever read by Abby Jimenez, and I am willing to give her another chance. But that being said, I did not enjoy this book very much at all. I rated it 3 stars, and that was generous. I won't go into it because I don't want to spend that much time talking about the books that I've already read. I want to talk more about the books I need to read. Too much of it just bothered me. The main character specifically got on my nerves. I just felt like I had a hard time reading it. And it was more like I wasn't really excited to read it. I mean, it kept my attention. I will definitely give her writing another chance because I've heard really great things about her, and I just think maybe this one was not for me. But that was the most recent book I finished reading. Yeah, so that's what I've read since the last time we talked. I know, not a lot, but that's okay. That's okay. It's summertime now, and so I guess that means I'm gonna read more. I don't really know what I was going with there. And while we're at it, for June's book club, we're meeting in July. So June's book is Verity by Colleen Hoover. I've tried to read this before, and I didn't stop because it wasn't good. I just got like 1 chapter into it, and I was just not at a point where I was invested enough, so I stopped. But I've heard really good things. I'm pretty sure they're turning this into a movie or a show or something. So I'm excited to read it. I do think it'll be good. I just think when I gave it a shot the first time, I was just not in the right state of mind for it. So I'm not nervous. Because sometimes when I've tried to read a book and I was unsuccessful and then I try again, I'm kind of nervous because that's just in my head. This time, that's not the case. Like, it's not really getting in my head. So I'm excited to read this. But it was really fun how we picked our book, and it's actually really funny that this is the book we landed on. So we actually had book club at my apartment this last time. Yeah, guess what happened that same day? My air conditioning went out. But my friends were troopers, as it was 79 degrees in here and I could do nothing about it. So what we did for book club was Anna said she wanted us to all bring a book title of a thriller, and we were gonna do that thing where you put it in a bowl or something, and somebody goes, okay, we are not reading Verity by Colleen Hoover, and then whatever book is the last book left is the one, sorry if you hear my ice maker, whatever book is the last one left is what we do read. So funnily enough, everybody came with 2 book titles except for McKenna. She came with 1, and we were all like, well, since we almost all have 2 book titles, we should just put all of them in there. But she only had the 1, and so Anna was like, let's just look up another random thriller book title, throw it in there. And so the random thriller book title that Anna came up with for McKenna's second pick was Verity by Colleen Hoover. So all of the books that we picked, that we like intentionally brought, all the other 9, none of those got picked. It was the last minute one that we were like, just to make it so that everyone has 2. That's one that we landed on, but I'm excited to read it. Some of the other picks did sound really good. Actually, they all sounded really good. So like, I would have been excited to read any of them, but I think it's just so funny that we landed on this one because of how it worked. And I like the way that we picked. I hope we do that again sometime. I don't know if we'll do it again soon, but it was really fun. So anyways, this is gonna be, I'm currently reading a book that we'll get into in a second. That's gonna be my main focus of a book to read, to finish. But after that is gonna be the book club book, because we are meeting on the 8th of July and it is already, I guess it's only June 22nd. We have time, but I really don't want to be reading this till the last second like I do every other month. So yeah, anyway, so that's book club book. Now we're gonna get into the buzzword readathon and show you how far behind I am, but my plan as well to get back on track. So if you have not heard me talk about it or you haven't seen it yourself, the buzzword readathon challenge is put on by Books and Lala, and she did 2 challenges this year, a title challenge and a cover challenge. So just briefly explain, I mean, I think people do it different ways. Like, I swear that one way that people do it is that they try to read as many books as they can in that month of that theme. I think that's something people do, but I'm lucky to even get 1, so I don't do it that way. And this is my 3rd year attempting the challenge. And hopefully the first year that I'll be successful. I was really close last year, but I didn't make it. And that's okay. I wasn't even gonna do it this year because I was like, you know what? I'm getting too, like, stressed out about having to read certain books that fit the criteria, and it's making me not want to read at all. But then she released 2 challenges, the title and the cover, and that kind of sucked me back in. So I'm doing it, but like I'm not putting too much pressure on myself to finish it, and I think that by not putting pressure on myself, it's making me want to do it more. So we love that. For the challenge, so for the title challenge, she either gives like a general idea of something, like for example, February was water words, so you have to find a book that has a water word in the title. So that could be water, that could be beach, that could be ocean, that could be rain, anything like that. Or she gives you a specific word that has to be in the title. For example, January was truth and lies, so the word truth or lies needed to explicitly be in the title, and you can kind of do it to your own discretion. Like for me, I read The Lying Game by Ruth Ware. Technically, lying is not lies, but that's really up to your own discretion because she's not going to hunt you down and come after you if you don't do it exactly. So that's how I interpret it, and I'm sure a lot of people do as well. Anyway, and then for the cover challenge, whatever it said, whatever she chooses for each month has to be on the cover of the book. Okay, so we're going to start by talking about the title challenge, and I took her little like images that she makes and I put it into Goodreads. I haven't used my iPad in a fat minute either, so this was really fun. It might be kind of hard to see, but I'm really just showing you this for a second and I'm gonna read it. But each month it has the name of the month, the name of the month, and then the whatever the needs to be in the title. So I filled it out through July because yes, it's still June, but July is right around the corner. So I am trying to be included with that. I have successfully completed January, February, and April for the buzzword title challenge. I have not completed March, May, June, and then July hasn't started yet. So technically I'm not behind on July. I'm just gonna rapid fire what I have read, and then I'll tell you what I'm going to be reading. So January was Truth and Lies. Like I said, I read The Lying Game by Ruth Ware. For February, it was Water Words, and I did Beach Read by Emily Henry. For April, it was Animals. So there needed to be an animal in the title, so I did Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. Okay, slay. Next, March, the thing is the word thing. So thing has to be in the title. So as you guys have seen me put this book in basically every TBR video I've done this year. Still haven't read it. I selected The Things We Leave Unfinished by Rebecca Yarros, which I have physically. I have renewed for probably like the 5th time the audiobook on Libby, because as much as I would love to read it physically, let's be honest, I haven't yet. I'm not going to. So I'm going to listen to the audiobook hopefully soon, but it's like long. It's a long audiobook. So anyways, this is going to be for March. Okay. Next, this one I was really excited about because I just realized that it could be used for the challenge today. Oh, that's a little bit of a sneak peek. If you know, you know. For May, it is, you have to have the word to or two, T-O or T-O-O in the title. And so lucky me, the book that I'm currently reading is called The Survivor Wants to Die at the End by Adam Silvera. This is the 3rd book in the Death Cast series. The first book was They Both Die at the End. The second book was The First to Die at the End. And then this is the 3rd book, The Survivor Wants to Die at the End. I love this series with my whole heart. They Both Die at the End is the book that probably, yeah, They Both Die at the End is the book that got me back into reading as an adult. I wasn't extremely consistent after that, but I do give props to that book, because if it wasn't for that book, I probably would have never picked up another book again. That's probably not true. That's probably not true, but that really did kickstart it for me because it was so good. Like, that book was so good. That being said, Adam Silvera, you wrote a thick book. This is just over 700 pages long, I believe. I'm on page 379, so I'm doing well. I'm over halfway, or I'm about halfway. And I read a lot of this thanks to the 2 silent book clubs I've been to this year. I read a ton. Like, I went to silent book club on Wednesday night and I read 92 pages in an hour. that's fast. Like, to me, that's a lot. Maybe it's not a lot to some people, but that's a lot to me. So yeah, I definitely need to keep up because I really am enjoying this book, but I just get stuck scrolling my phone a lot. Adam Silvera, love you. Love this series. I don't know if you're planning to write more, but please don't ever stop. Next is June, and it's memory words. So I'm also trying to do this challenge as much as I can off of my own bookshelf. So I like asked ChatGPT, like, what are some words that related to memory? And I went through all my books and I just couldn't find anything that I felt like related enough. So I decided to look for a thriller audiobook because that's gonna be the easiest. And I landed on In the Dark We Forget by Sandra S.G. Wong. And the word I'm going with is forget as a memory word. So I do have a hold on it. There's one person ahead of me that has it, so it says about a 2-week hold. But I did place a hold for the audiobook. It's 12 hours, so 6 hours because I listen on 2 times speed. So that's the only book I had to pick that wasn't on my shelf, but it's an audiobook, so I didn't buy it. And I use Libby, so it all works. For July, trying to plan ahead, it needed to have punctuation in the title. And I'm sure, like, there's a lot of things that count for punctuation, but I wanted an exclamation point, okay? I don't think I own a single book that has an exclamation point in it, so I might have to buy one. Or, like, not buy necessarily, but, like, get. But I decided to go through Goodreads anyways. And look what I found. This is a book that my mom gave me a while back that was like in a box of my random stuff, and she's like, here's some books. Who knows when I bought this or why I bought it. Who knows? But I did. And I'm really glad I did now, and I'm glad that I never read it. But it is called Delicious with an exclamation point by Ruth Reichl. I'm so sorry if I am butchering the last name, but I'm going with Reichl. I guess I haven't really told you about what a lot of these books are about, but basically I've only talked about some pretty popular books, so I'm sure people already know what they're about. But this one is about, I'll just read it, the back. Billy Breslin has traveled far from her home in California to take a job at Delicious, New York's most iconic food magazine. At first, Billy feels like a fish out of water until she is welcomed by the magazine's colorful staff and seduced by the vibrant downtown food scene. Then an unexpected turn of events leads Billy to a miraculous discovery. In a hidden room in the magazine's library, she finds a cache of letters written during World War II by Lulu Swan, a plucky 12-year-old to the legendary chef James Beard. Lulu's letters provide Billy with a richer understanding of history and inspire Billy to come to terms with her fears and her ability to open her heart to love. This, if you knew me, I don't even know when I bought this book because I don't even know when it came out. 2014 sounds about right. So it came out in 2014. I got it after that. If you knew me around that time, probably like 2016, 2017, probably. This is the exact kind of book that I would have bought. Like, this is me to a T. I love reading books like regarding history, but like specifically World War II. And this, like reading the back of it just makes me realize how much it makes sense that I bought this book. I literally can't express to you how much just reading this brings me back to me as like a 16-year-old. This is me. This is me. So hopefully I love it. Like, I'm excited to read it. I really am. So that's for July. And then we're caught up. Obviously I have to read them, but that is all of the title books. Now, I'm not saying I'm reading all these by the end of July because it's like 8 books, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, wait. Book club. Well, I'm also wanting to do like more book videos. Ellie keeps putting out like videos, book challenges, reading challenges. Like Spotify decides how long I read. My screen time decides how long I read, things like that. I don't know what challenge I want to do, but I want to do like one of those. So hopefully there will be more reading content in the near future. Last but not least, we're going to talk about the cover challenge for the Buzzword Readathon. Just like the title challenge, I have 3 of the months covered and 4 of them not. So at least I'm consistent. The ones that I do have completed so far, February was Skyline. So I did Looking for Leroy by Melody Carlson. That was a really good book. That was also a book that came at the same time as Delicious. And that was another book where I was like, yeah, I know why I bought this. March, it needed to have books on the cover. So I did How to End a Love Story by Yulin Kwong. That was our book club book. Not very good, in my opinion. Sorry, no hard feelings, Yulin Kwong. But, you know, there are just so many fish in the sea, and that is not who you should be with. That's all I'm gonna say. And then for April, I double dipped but so did the challenge, so it's okay. April, there had to be an animal on the cover. So I did Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck because there's a bunny on the cover. So getting into the months that I haven't yet covered, here's another book you're probably tired of hearing about and wondering if I'm ever gonna actually read it. I know. January is Pattern, and I selected 99% Mine by Sally Thorne. This is another book that I have physically, but I also have the audiobook on Libby, and I'm probably going to listen to it instead. Just because it's been so long, I'm kind of losing faith in myself on these two books specifically, so I think it'll be way easier for me to listen to them. But the reason I chose this one for Pattern is that it has a bunch of little stars on the cover, and so if you can see them, that's the pattern I'm going for the cover challenge. Next is May, and the cover challenge for May is eyes. So there needs to be, it says eyes. I'm going for eye, singular. I don't think it really matters if there's more than one eye. Again, this challenge, you know, it's up to interpretation, right? Like, it's okay. I'm reading A Friend Request by Laura Marshall. This book is really, it's kind of funny to me because I bought this when I was still at Central at the Wildcat shop because it was only $1. It was on sale for $1. So I bought it. I have yet to read it, but hey, it was only $1. So yeah, it's about, I'll just read this at the front. It says, Maria Weston wants to be friends, but Maria Weston's dead, isn't she? So I thought that sounded really interesting. Definitely some kind of a thriller. And yeah, I just thought it was interesting because it's like she receives like a friend request on Facebook and she's like, what the heck, this person's not. Which now, if that happens now, you just assume that the person is hacked because tell me why my deceased grandparents are trying to add me as friends on Facebook. Anyway, this is my book for May. Oh, and it has an I. I singular, but that's okay. I had other books that have multiple I's, but they were more romancy, and I just feel like I've got too much romance down here. And I love romance, I do, but I'm way more interested in thrillers at this time in my life. So I cannot make everything romance, considering the next two I'm about to show you are also romance. So I needed something that was a thriller, so the one I is gonna have to work. Next is June, and the theme is celestial, so like stars in the sky. And I chose Wanderlust by Elle Everhart. It's a really cute cover. This cover, the colors are like, I don't know. It's just so cute, so aesthetically pleasing to me. But it might be kind of hard to see. Maybe it's easier to see on the spine. But there's like little stars in the sky above like a skyline. Like these little marks, if you can see them, are like from the sky, and it's on the spine as well. So I'm counting those like as little stars, celestial. So how exciting. But yeah, something to do with travel. Yeah, I don't know. Talking about like me, even if I could just read you the back of a book, that's still not my strong suit. Like telling you what a book is about, I still struggle with that. And also like, I don't know, anyway, this is for June, okay? So I'm excited to hopefully read this very soon. Last but certainly not least, for July, we have Technology, which I thought was a cool one. And I wasn't exactly sure what book I would pick. I didn't know what kind of options I had, but I saw this one immediately and was like, ooh, not only is that technology, but like, it feels very into my world because I do obviously YouTube, and I used to do like my podcast, and I used this piece of technology often, so I liked that. But for July, I'm going to be reading The X Talk by Rachel Lynn Solomon, and it has a microphone on the front. Ellie got this book for me actually, but I think she like went on my Goodreads and was looking for a book that I wanted to read but didn't have already, and she went with The X Talk, and I'm so excited. I want to read this so badly. Like, I just think it'll be so good. But I'll just give you a little blurb. It says, public radio co-hosts navigate mixed signals in this sparkling romantic comedy debut. So, yeah, love is on the air. It's so cute too. Like, that cover is so cute. I'm so excited. So, anyway, that is for July. And then look at that. We're all caught up. Have I read any of them? Nope. But, like, we will be caught up. The books that have not been completed or have not been read are highlighted in red. And then once I read them, I'll redo the title without the red. So, but I needed a way to show which ones had been read and which ones had not. I don't know what my really goal is, my timeline for having these all read by. I guess I'm gonna try my best to upload a video towards the end of July, early August about my reading thus far. I want to upload more reading challenge type videos, so you'll see those, and then you'll see what I'm currently reading in that moment, and maybe I'll update a little bit there. But I'm gonna just try to read as much as I can, so then by the end of July, I can kind of tell you about what I've accomplished. And I don't even feel like I'm in a reading slump. Like, I sit down on the couch with my book and I want to read, and then I just get sucked into TikTok. So, or I get into bed at night and I just want to scroll on TikTok. So, I mean, not just TikTok, everything, literally everything. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, but I'm going to try really hard to catch up because I really do want to complete it this year. And I want to film more book content, and in order for me to do that, I need to be reading more books. I also, at some point, I don't know if it'll end up in a video soon or not, but I haven't forgotten about my reading journal that I started. I have not touched it in months. It has not been updated. So maybe towards the end of July, when I finish as many of these books as I can, maybe in that video, that could be a good time to also update my reading journal, because I don't see myself sitting down to do it anytime soon necessarily. So maybe if it's, you know, it would be good to do it after I've hopefully read like a lot more books, because I honestly don't even have that much to put in. I haven't read that much this year. So it might just be better to take like a bigger chunk of time with a bigger amount of books and do that all at once, and then I can show it to you guys too. So we'll see, but just know I haven't forgotten about that, but I also haven't, there's nothing to show you either. But I think that's everything. I just kind of wanted to update about my reading since it's been a while, and then also for myself especially, just to see where I'm at with the Buzzword Readathon and kind of get myself back on track, because even if, like, in my head I was thinking about it, if I didn't really sit down and see what I needed to read, I would just never really get myself back on track. And Ellie, I've been trying to catch up on Ellie's YouTube videos, and she said something the other day about it, and I was just like, I was like a sleeper cell spy, like, oh my gosh, I forgot. Like, I'm supposed to be doing that. And I had just not thought about it in such a long time. So today I woke up and was like, why not talk about it today? So anyways, yeah, but I think that's everything. So I'm really excited to continue reading. I really want to finish The Survivor Wants to Die at the end, because it's so good and I just want to see what happens so badly. So yeah, I'm hoping to maybe read for a little bit after we finish up here before Love Island comes on tonight. Oh my gosh, comment down below if you're watching Love Island. I should make a video talking about Love Island. I would hate editing that. I'd be so annoyed with myself because I would just talk way too much, and so never mind. But if you are watching, let me know. Yeah, because I'd love to talk about it. Also, let me know what your reading is looking like, what you've been reading, what you haven't been reading, what you want to be reading. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I would love for you to stick around, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!